We are here on the set, April and I, with our special guest, Bitsie Tulloch, who's one of the stars of the Grimm TV show. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And I said the Grimm TV show. That's not really the way it should be put.
It's just called Grimm.
It's just called Grimm. 2 M's.
Yes.
You got to tell people 2 M's,
Yes.
Grimm. Tell us about the show. I mean, I was fascinated when I heard that they were doing this sort of adult crime drama based on Grimm's fairy tales or related to that. Tell us a little bit about it.
Each episode is sort of either directly or loosely based on a specific fairy tale, not necessarily one by the Brothers Grimm, but you know, some of them are just, a lot of them just have the format of a fairy tale. You know, you have this, typically in a fairy tale or a legend, you would have a young protagonist overcoming all these obstacles, trying to find his way home. So
you're wrapping up 2 seasons and you're going into a 3rd.
No, we're wrapping up 3. We're going into a 4th.
Going into the 4th. That's why I'm saying it's so amazing. And with that kind of, you know, it's a different kind of show. To have an audience.
You play a veterinarian on the show?
I do play a veterinarian on the show. You know, in the pilot episode, which was sort of funny, I was a baker. And season 1, I was the only female series regular on the show, so I was sort of assuming that since my showrunners had come off of, like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, that, you know, you have these women who are kicking butt, and so I thought I got a trainer. And then I kind of started thinking about it. I'm like, what am I going to do, lob muffins at people? Like, how is this going to help? And then they kind of were having the same idea at the same time. And I also am obsessed with my French bulldog Henry, and I talk about him all the time. So I don't know if that helped give them an idea, but because we have these vests and these creatures on the show, my character ended up, they sort of rewrote that, and I became a veterinarian.
So what do you do? Like you suture the wolf after the
woodcutter
woodcutter has opened him up?
Yeah, I've done stuff like that. I've worked with cats, horses, and dogs so far.
And I know that you went to Harvard, correct?
Yes, I did. I graduated in 2003.
Wow, and you also went to Yale.
That's not also. Also
maybe.
Would be also went to Harvard.
You also probably, maybe. Yeah.
I went to Yale. Yes, I did.
Didn't you graduate from Cornell?
No.
No. But I spoke at Harvard once, so that's my.
You spoke?
I spoke there one time.
Were you invited, or you just went there and spoke?
I just randomly went.
Yeah.
And I said, here I am.
Really?
I have a voice, and I want to use it in Harvard. No, I was invited to speak. I'm a speaker as well.
What were you talking about?
It was a Latino conference with all the Ivy League schools, so I was just giving a motivational speech. And that's my little claim to fame, to speaking at Harvard.
But you're an actress.
But I am an actor, so when she was saying that her season got picked up for another 4th, it gets me excited because we also know.
It's crazy to think that after the 4th season, I will have done 88 one-hour episodes of the show. But it's just so fun, and it gets better and better. It really does.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because it's interesting. We met 2 people today, with yourself and a gentleman before, that you just came in, and it happened pretty quickly, right? Because were you doing the whole?
I don't know about that.
Okay, see, this is what I like to hear.
What we're trying to say is you did nothing to earn the great success.
She
That's
just
what
walked
we're trying,
in
the
because
point
she's
we're trying to
absolutely
make.
gorgeous, and it's just her presence, and
that
she's
helps.
demanded.
That does help. That's true.
Right.
No, listen, I studied for a couple years, but you know, something I say all the time, it's like, even if you have A-list actresses, I remember reading an interview with Anne Hathaway, who was saying that she's usually the 3rd choice after Scarlett Johansson or Keira Knightley. So it never really ends as far as the competition. And I would say the vast majority of stuff I audition for, I don't book. A lot of that, fortunately, is now because my schedule's tight because of Grimm, but it's going to be like that. I mean, much like any other career.
Well, that's why I always play myself, so that way I'm usually the first choice.
Well, I was at the Sundance in a director's lab, and I got to meet Sally Field. Now, we're talking Sally Field, this amazing actress, and she was speaking about how insecure still, at her age, that she feels. She's like, oh, I'm constantly insecure. I'm constantly worried about my next job. And I go, does it ever end? Does the insecurity of wondering where your next gig will come from, does it ever end? And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, well, I guess it's...
Well, I think it's a choice,
It's about the journey.
You don't have to be insecure, but it's kind of the natural thing. Most of us are
I'm saying the insecurities of just like, what am I going to eat? Or if someone is going to pick me, you know, thinking of Anne Hathaway, like she's an Oscar. You just have to
trust that everything's going to work out the way it's meant to. And you know, the insecurity, it is what it is, and at least it makes you not take the successes for granted.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Before we go, we just have to do some Yale-Harvard trash talk.
Okay.
Right. What were you saying that you...
I mean, I really have nothing bad to say about you guys because we just, you know...
I have many bad things to say about Yale.
I would...
Really?
Yeah.
But you don't want to interview me. No, but you were saying that Harvard has won, what, the last 7 Yale-Harvard games?
I believe that's correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, now go ahead. Ask me if I care. No, it's okay.
I'm gonna say you're gonna pretend like you don't
just to show you how
care.
old I am. At the 100th Yale-Harvard game, which was 1983. I was there, and when it was over, you know, they tore down the goalpost. I literally don't remember who won, right? So it was at Harvard. It was not at Yale. It was at, okay. But they tore down the goalpost, and I led a drunken mob in taking that goalpost, carrying it a quarter of a mile, and then throwing it into the Charles River. That is the extent of my, that's true. I'm not making that up.
That's pretty funny.
But
I mean, yeah, they get a little aggro. I know that there were attempts, or there might have been successful attempts to steal the bulldog, which of course I am not into because I have a bulldog. So it's like, leave the bulldog alone. I have a French bulldog, but you guys, you know, I'm like, leave the bulldog alone. Yeah. But yeah, we've been doing well lately.
You've been doing well. Well, so I'll go to one of these games sometime. I know George Pataki always goes. You know, our governor.
I will go with you.
This has just been it's just been a delight getting to know you.
It has.
And we're going to be cheering you on out there. We know you're going to be doing a lot of great things. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back.